and welcome into a For What It's Worth episode. I am your host, Calvin Silvers. Just me on this episode, but that's all right. I have a different kind of style I'm attacking here with this one, and we're going to be giving overreaction and underreaction to 5 topics of the NFL season so far. I have not made an episode like this yet with this podcast, so I'm excited to get it started. And if you guys like it, let me know, and I'll try to incorporate this with Tyrone and Eric when they get back onto the episode. But you guys know me. I'm a busy man. I know you guys. You guys are busy people. I don't like to take up too much of your time. So let's just dive right into it. And the first question posed is, based on overall performance, is the Kansas City Chiefs 3-0 start a fluke? Or should fans be worried about a rocky start from Mahomes? And to me, that is a big overreaction. Yes, Patrick Mahomes may look rocky now, but we were having these same kind of conversations last season about him. Now, granted, that was with a worse receiving core, and it was due to a lot of drops from his receivers, but he still did not look what we'd known or what we expect fully of Patrick Mahomes early on. That's the key word right there, or the key phrase, I should say. He is 17-13 in the month of November and 22-6 in the month of December. This guy is a Super Bowl winning champion, multiple Super Bowl winning champion quarterback. He knows what he's doing when it matters, and they always figure it out when it matters. And looking at this at the receiving core and at the receiving room and in a development type of way, this is good. Not only is Rice continuing a phenomenal career in Kansas City, but Worthy is also getting involved early and often in this Chiefs offense. And the fact that Travis Kelce's being doubled or tripled team, and that was said by Mahomes after the game, and that's fine with me, and that should be fine with Chief fans, because if they're going to double or triple team Travis Kelce, like I just mentioned, that opens up Rice. That will open up Hollywood Brown when he gets back, which I haven't even mentioned. They're missing Pacheco and Hollywood Brown right now. They'll get those guys back later on. So don't worry. Rice is continuing to look good and isn't looking like he's going to take a slump. Worthy's getting a lot of action. And soon teams are going to have to slump off Travis Kelce if he's not getting targets, and these other two are burning them either deep or in the immediate to short game there. So, yes, kind of troublesome that Kelce maybe isn't more involved, but it's not hurting them. They're 3-0. This is a back-to-back Super Bowl winning team. They know how to handle this. And if you're a Chiefs fan, why are you that worried? I get it. You have almost a heart attack watching these games every week. I get it. I'm a Hawkeye fan. But they are not, and during this 9-0 stretch, all right, they have won the 9 games by a combined total of 54 points. That's the smallest combined margin of victory by any team during a 9-0 stretch in the NFL. They know how to get it done when it matters. Patrick Mahomes knows how to close out games. We've seen it time and time again. Bring up the 13 seconds. Bring up any scenario you want. Mahomes has led the way. They are all right. No one should be, overreacting to Mahomes, not looking his best so far. And no, this is not a fluke of a 3-0 start for the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, next one. With the 28-25 win against the Cowboys, are the Ravens back? This is an overreaction. I mean, I get it. Baltimore got the win. I'm not hating them for getting the win. I'm kind of just hating on how they did it. They, once again, had trouble putting a team or a game away. Yes, I get it. They won. But look at last week. They gave up a 10-point fourth quarter lead to the Raiders, who got embarrassed this week by the Carolina Panthers. That was a scenario where the Raiders were way too confident in where they were as a team and completely overlooked the Panthers. Now, Andy Dalton did play well. But besides the point, I'm getting off track here. You give up a 10-point fourth quarter lead last week. You almost give up a 22-point quarter lead to the Cowboys. And this Cowboys team's not that good. They're really not that good. I get it. You were up, 28-6? But to only end up winning 28-25, that's still worrisome to me. Or let me put it in this term. They are being outscored 39-17 in the fourth quarter this year. That's not going to cut it when you face good teams, and it hasn't cut it. I mean, look what happened with Kansas City, and the look ahead is not too promising. You could be brought back down to earth. And I'm not saying that they're high about this win or, all high and mighty and they're going to overlook their next opponent, but it's the Bills. And so you could start the season 1-3, in all honesty, with how the Bills are looking and how Josh Allen is looking right now. I know Tyrone is not here on this episode, but we were talking earlier. He said that he thinks Josh Allen is probably front runner for MVP right now. And I have to say, I probably agree with that one. And then after the Bills, you have the Bengals, the Commanders, who looked really good on Monday night, and the Bucs, who, yes, did not look very good in week 3, but I still don't think we should, count them out yet either. I still think they're a good team. So the Bills, as I was mentioning, that's who you face next. They are leading the NFL in scoring with 112 points, and Baltimore gives up 26 a game, which is, 26 in the league. So you are about to face the highest scoring offense, and your defense loves to give up points. Once again, you do not want to start 1-3. But the saving grace can be Derrick Henry, and I hope the Ravens don't forget that they have Derrick Henry. They did not forget in week 3, and I hope they can continue to rely on a running game and not so much on a passing game, especially in crucial moments. I mean, look at last year's AFC Championship against the Chiefs. Did they just forget that they could, that they had a run game there? Don't try to force too much with Lamar. I'm not saying Lamar can't do great things, but get the run game going. Get Henry involved. Get a fullback in front of him. Let him bully his way. Get you 3-4 yards of carry. Let him do his thing. All right, I've had 2 overreactions in a row, so I'm going underreaction on this next one. And are the Minnesota Vikings a playoff team? And as I just said, they are a playoff team. That is an underreaction. That is not overreacting. This team has a lovely stretch of winnable games in their schedule. They play the Rams, the Colts, the Jags, the Titans, and Bears in that order, and I believe in 2 to 3 weeks. Very winnable games right there. And you already have, this great start. Combine all that, you're sitting already at 8-9 wins right there. They've captured 2 wins over 2 of the best teams last year, and arguably 2 of the better teams, if not one of the best teams this year. You beat the 49ers, the best team, if not one of the best teams in the NFC, and then you beat the Houston Texans, an up-and-coming sneaky AFC team that some were saying could be the ones to take down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Those are not 2 opponents. Now, I know the 49ers and their injuries, but that's still not an opponent, 2 opponents to sneeze at. You get wins there, and Darnold is having one of his passing games or passing seasons so far in his career, and I get it. It's only a few weeks, but he's going to have double-digit passing touchdowns. That's going to be for the 3rd time in his career, I believe. So he's feeling confident. He's in a flow. The players trust him. You have Justin Jefferson. He can get – it doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball. He's going to get open. All you got to do is just make sure the ball gets in those hands, and you're fine. And he's efficient. Sam Darnold does not – he's not doing costly mistakes. And then you get a healthy Jordan Addison and a TJ Hawkinson down the road. This is a playoff team. The Minnesota Vikings are a playoff team. All right, should I continue with the underreaction train here? Let's see what the next question is. It's Cincinnati. Should they be worried? Yeah, they should be worried. This is an underreaction. You should start sweating if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan. In the last 25 seasons, just one of 120 teams to start 0-3 made the playoffs. Here are the Bengals sitting at 0-3. And teams will learn not to give Chase that one-on-one and that man coverage like we saw Washington give him on Monday night, because frankly, it burned them a lot, or it burned them every time. And while the Bengals weren't able to capitalize it so much to the point where they could use it to win, Washington exposed that, all right, you might not want to go man on this guy. So don't expect teams to do that too much. Don't expect Chase to maybe be as dominant as he was even on Monday night consistently throughout the seasons. I think teams know to lock him up, especially after seeing what Kansas City did and then seeing what he did on Monday night. Also, they have no defensive line. They're missing Sheldon Rankins, RJ Hill. They can't stop a good running team right now. Missing those 2 guys is going to bite them, and until those 2 guys come back, don't expect much there. But they do have one of the easier schedules in the league on paper. I still think it can give them a little bit of a challenge, but if Joe Burrow's playing fine this season, he's actually playing great. He's playing well. And so it's not his fault. It's this defense. It's atrocious. You can't trust them. But if you're the Bengals, you do have the Ravens coming to town after you play the Panthers next week. Obviously, can't overlook them because you saw what will happen. The Raiders overlooked them, and you saw what happened. But it doesn't even matter. If you lose to the Panthers next week and you're 0-4, you're done. I don't see them coming back from an 0-4 start, especially if losses to not only the New England Patriots, but then it would be the Carolina Panthers. You can't have those be 2 losses and then expect to come back. It just won't happen. And the last question of this episode, will it be an underreaction or overreaction? Let's find out. Here it is. Jayden Daniels is better than Caleb Williams. That is an underreaction. Jayden Daniels right now, and it's looking to be like he will be better than Caleb Williams this season. After what I saw on Monday night, Daniels was absolutely incredible. He only had 2 incompletions. He was 21 of 23. He had more total touchdowns than he did incompletions on the night. And like I said, he had 23 passing attempts. It's not like he only threw 10 times, 12 times. He threw 23 times. No interceptions. Actually, in fact, no punts, no turnovers. Just absolutely fantastic. As I mentioned, that 21 of 23, that's 91.3%. That's a rookie record, passing percentage record there. And he rushed for 40 yards, had that rushing touchdown. So just overall, he just looks unbelievable, especially on that Monday night game. Yeah, just overall, he's completing over 80% of his passing attempts so far this season. And yes, some of that might be short game completions like we saw, just, quick passes, but we also saw him air it out in that Monday night game, and it has the ability to throughout the season. He has Scary Terry's better than anything that the Bears can offer Caleb Williams right now, and Daniels is playing behind a better line than what Caleb Williams is doing right now. So that's why Daniels, has the ability to make the reads on that short game or get the ball out and make the right read, but also has the time to go deep when he wants to and or needs to. And let's not forget, all this happened on Monday night in prime time, and he's 23 of 26 in the fourth quarter. When it comes time to clutch up, he clutches up. He doesn't really make mistakes. So right now, it is not an overreaction. It's actually an underreaction that Jayden Daniels is better than Caleb Williams. So as mentioned, those are 5 topics, and whether I think it is an overreaction or an underreaction. Go ahead and follow all our socials. We are on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. Just go ahead and type in For What It's Worth Podcast. If that doesn't work, just type in FWIW Sports Pod. That will pop it up. Go ahead, follow, like, share, send the link to your friends. Do whatever you guys can do to keep building up the brand. We very much appreciate it. But until then, I am your host, Calvin Silvers. Have a good one.